All right, welcome to our business mastery series in the business uh, with purpose group. Today we're talking about how to attract the right customers. This is my favorite topic and actually my superpower. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Sue Brooke, and I have most people on Alignable know me because I worked for Alignable for 5 years, and my job at Alignable was I live in my motorhome, and I've traveled to almost every single state in the US and a little bit of Canada, and met Alignable members all over the country. That was my job. And also my number one job was teaching people how to use Alignable. And now my friend Sherry Pedrioli, along with some other awesome influencers on Alignable, we're starting Business with Purpose. It's a nonprofit. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've been in business since I was in my early 20s, and I've done a lot of stuff. And I know that this part of my life, my purpose in my life now is to give back and help as many business owners as I can. And because I hate it when I see business owners struggling, and it's hurts my heart. And so we have now created something that I've been wanting to do for many years called Business with Purpose. You can go find it at businesswithpurpose.org, and you can see what we're doing. We're actually officially launching in January, but you can get early access to a lot of stuff. So I will be talking more about that. But today we're going to be talking about ideal customers. We're going to cover today who your ideal customer really is. This is the key to everything. Who your ideal referral partners are. A lot of people don't even know who the heck a referral partner is, let alone your ideal referral partner, and why this is absolutely essential and key to your success in your business. It changed my life when I figured this out. And it's especially important for Alignable because, as you all know, we have a thing called Alignable 360 now, and it will not work if you do not have your ideal customer and you have not nailed down your ideal referral partner and put the right tags and everything on your profile. Okay. So everything you learned today, I hope, is going to help you nail down your profile and be able to tell Alignable who your ideal customers and referral partners are so it'll actually work for you. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we're going to talk mostly about this today, but just to give you a quick thing here, what is an ideal customer? That's who you want your network to introduce you to. If you're in a Smart Connect, or if you're at a networking event, or you're talking to someone and they say, who can I introduce you to help you in your business? You need to be able to say exactly who it is really quickly. So this is an example of, I love giving this example a lot because LaGaia Kelly owns Bouquet Canyon Kennels out in Santa Clarita, California. I actually met her on Alignable. Funny thing, I didn't know her when I lived in Santa Clarita, but I met her later, and she's amazing. She is super successful in her dog. Actually, it's any animals. She'll take any animals on her ranch out there. So her customers, she has actually two completely different customers. She has pet owners, obviously, that need a place to bring their pets and leave them if they're on vacation or in emergency or working. But she also does consulting. So her other customer is looking for other people in the pet industry to help them because she is super passionate. Her purpose in her life is to help other pet business owners be successful. So as you can see, she put the little tags here of who her customers who she'd like to meet. Now, who's a referral partner? Okay, here's the question that I get all the time. What is your referral partner? And that's who you're going to share referrals with. So in my opinion, there's really two types of referral partners on Alignable, to be exact. There's one is people that you meet, let's say in a Smart Connect or in a networking of some sort, you meet them and you build a relationship with them and they get to know you and love you and trust you and everything. And then they're talking to other people and if that person, let's say for LaGaia, lives in Santa Clarita and needs a place to leave their dogs while they go on vacation, they're going to tell that person to go to a LaGaia right away. So that's one kind of referral partner. Okay. Those are relationships you actually have to build. All right. But the really, really easy one on Alignable to figure, or I'm not even going to say in Alignable, this is for your business. It's people who have businesses that actually serve your ideal customer, but they're not a competitor. Okay, they're not an ideal competitor. So for Ligaya and her pet business, her is Bouquet Candy Kennels. She's looking for people. She's looking for referral partners whose business has all their customers owns a pet, which is what? Veterinarians, right? That's her number one best referral partner, most profitable referral partner, because she told me that, and I know this to be true, is veterinarians get asked all the time to refer their customers to a place to leave their pets. And Ligaya gets asked all the time if she refers a veterinarian. So she has built super strong relationships with her very best referral partner. So you got to figure out who that is for your business. Now, can you clearly describe your ideal customer to anyone you meet? If you're at a networking event and someone says, who can I introduce you to? Who's your best customer? You have got to be able to say it in like one sentence, like really succinctly. You can't go on and on and on or say everybody. If you say everybody, they're going to go, oh, okay, I don't know. I saw a homeless guy holding a sign on the street. I don't know if he has the money to pay you. That's not your ideal customer. So if you cannot explain to somebody exactly who your ideal customer is, how are you going to expect your referral partners to introduce you to the right people? The title of this is how to attract like a magnet to you your ideal customers, and you've got to be able to clearly describe that. So we're going to dig in very, very clearly. So by the time you leave here today, you should hopefully at least have a way to start thinking a different way about who your most profitable customers are. So here's the deal. What is an ideal customer? I'm going to tell you what it's not. Okay. It's not your target market. My mentor that I learned everything I know about this stuff says this. He always says target markets don't have credit cards. Okay, people have credit cards. That's why you have to figure out who your ideal customer is so that and talk to the people that are actually going to pay you. Okay, it's not everybody. I get this, oh my gosh, I'll get people arguing with me all day long that they can help everybody. Okay, and you know what? They don't have any money. They're not getting customers because they're trying to talk to everybody instead of individual people that are actually going to pay them. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little quick story to try to help you understand this. So this is my best story that I have. I haven't found another one better than this. I have this friend who's super shy, and we used to go to these networking events, and we went to this women's networking event, and everybody was in a circle, and everybody went around the room and did their 30-second, introduction. And then everybody was networking after that. So my friend, after the introduction, she comes up to me and she was like practically in tears. And she's like, Sue, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, I'm a health coach. And the lady standing next to, that was sitting next to me during the introduction, she's a health coach. But look, and she pointed across the room and she said, look, everybody's in line. They all want to talk to her and they don't want to talk to me. I don't understand. Why is everybody going to her, not me? I said, what did you say when you stood up? She said, hi, I'm Janet. I'm a health coach. I said, what did that other lady say? And she said, hi, I'm Pat. I'm a health coach. I actually specialize in helping overweight women with knee problems. And everybody in the room like raised their hand and wanted to go talk to her because either they had that problem, they were that person, or most of them knew somebody. Like I know at least 4 or 5 people that have knee problems. My aunt is had knee surgery recently. So I know a lot of people I would go straight to that person and refer that person to somebody. Okay. Does that make sense? So when you're introducing yourself or when you're putting things on your profiles or on your website, you have to talk about who you're specializing in so people can go, I know someone. Okay. You can't say everybody who, it's like you got to get really clear with that. Now, here's the thing though. Everybody has more than one ideal customer. Everybody does. You have a lot of different ideal customers. Yes. Okay. But well, here we go. let's pretend that all these four people are your ideal customers. I mean, just looking at the pictures, they're all different, right? They're different ages, they're different sexes, they're different they probably have completely different lives. Maybe some have kids, maybe some don't, maybe they're single, or they're all different people. They all they speak different languages. Not, you know what I mean? They speak differently, okay? So how do you know which one of these people to focus on first? Okay, which one do you focus on? You focus on the most profitable one. Okay, I'm going to give you some cool examples later about that. Okay, but let me give you another story. So let's pretend that you're selling a bottle of water, okay? And your bottle of water that you're selling is $20, okay? And it's very special kind of water. It's going to help with different things. But you have people standing in front of you. I've got somebody I need to mute somebody. You've got these people standing in front. Let's say you got three of them the first three people are standing in front of you, and you have this bottle of water. And the first person, that lady, let's say she just loves drinking water. She's like a green person. She uses water all the time, but she's very into the green thing. And you say, "Oh, I have this water, and it's $20. What are the chances she's going to buy it?" Well, if it's in a plastic bottle, she's probably definitely not going to buy it. And it's probably not the highest, best customer that you would have right there. But let's look at the next slide. Let's pretend that the second guy, he's actually he's getting ready to run a race or a marathon, and he is working out every single day. He is really, really trying. He wants to win this race really badly. And your water can really help with his endurance. Okay. It can really help. Now, what are the chances he would pay $20 for that bottle of water? If it could help him win that race, I'm going to say 50-50 chance. Maybe he'll only buy that $20 bottle of water when he's working out, when he's training for that race, but otherwise he probably won't. But let's say this third person, that girl right there, she is really sick. Let's say she's even dying, maybe. I mean, this water that you have, this special $20 bottle of water that you have, could actually save her life, or at least give her more days, weeks, months on this earth. Okay, I know that's a really crazy example, but let's just pretend that that water could really help her with her life, extend her life. How many pallets of that water is she going to buy? Right? How many pallets? That would be your most ideal, most profitable customer. You have to really analyze that with your business. You got to think of look at all your different customers, and which one is the one that's the most profitable, that they don't care how much your product or your service costs. So now, how do you get to know who that is? This is where a lot of cool stuff comes in. Okay. Now, your ideal customer, first of all, this was a mistake I made in the beginning. So I love to tell you guys the mistakes I made so that you don't make them. Your ideal customer is discovered based on research, not your own perception and your own opinion. Okay. It might not actually be who you think it is. So my claim to fame was a school that I owned. I own a tutoring business, and it grew really big into a 5,000 square foot learning center in Santa Clarita, California. And I also had a second location, a tutoring location in San Diego. I was a pretty busy business owner, just let me tell you. Okay. When I sold my business, I decided I wanted to help other people start businesses. That's a great superpower of mine. I love helping people start their businesses. So I started working with my mentor, John Limbacher, that I talk about a lot. And he said, "Sue, who will be your most profitable customer?" And I said, "Oh, I know who it is." He goes, "Did you do the research to determine that?" I said, "No, I already know." I was like pretty stubborn. And I said, I think, and I had a whole thing that it was a woman. She was over like maybe 40 something. She was a stay-at-home mom, and now our kids went off to college or whatever. Maybe she got divorced, and she's been a stay-at-home mom, and she wants to start a business. And I thought that was true because a lot of the parents that I had talked to wanted that. He goes, "Well, I'm going to ask you to do the research to see if that's really true." And back then we didn't have AI to just help with that. So it took a long, long time, weeks, to do the research. Well, I found out I was completely wrong. And it ended up being young men who had gone to school, to college to be like a rocket scientist or whatever, and they figured out that they couldn't get a job, so they could make more money starting a business. And those were my ideal customers. So you've got to do the research. And now you have AI. It's so easy. I'm going to show you a tool that is phenomenal to help you do this. And as far as the other one, this is a really big deal. I don't know if there's any realtors in the house, but when I say it might not be who you think it is, listen to this one. So years ago, my dad, my younger sister and I found out that my dad had dementia. And she's here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I was at the time in California. And our dad was in his house, living in a house in a little town in Nebraska. So we had to go back and move him to a memory care facility, and we had to sell his house. So we needed a realtor, right? You can imagine. We had lines of oh my God, everybody wanted to sell my dad's house. We had realtors coming out of our ears. But you know what? There was only one out of all those realtors who wanted to sell our dad's house, only one. We had only one that we would pick. And guess why? Their marketing, their website, their marketing, they had a whole marketing thing that said, we specialize in helping the children of seniors sell their homes. Okay. So, I mean, was there anybody else that we were going to pick? No. Okay. Because that marketing message was talking directly to us. Our dad couldn't sell his own house, but we wanted the realtor that understood us so well and could help the kids of the parents who need to sell their house. So think about who that is. Like when I had my tutoring business, the kids weren't paying for it. They weren't my customer. It was the parents. Sometimes it was grandparents. I would do marketing things to grandparents. Now, how do you get to know that ideal customer? Okay, well, I have a few ways that you can do that. Number one is if you're thinking right now, if you have the perfect customer, oh my God, you love working with them. They're wonderful. They just give you so much joy. Plus, they just don't care how much it costs. They pay you on time, whatever those things are that make them your absolute dream customer. That is probably your best customer. And if you could clone them or duplicate them over and over, you would be really, really happy. So if you have that already, go set up time to talk with them, spend time with them, get to know them on a really personal level. And you know what will happen? You could ask them anything. You could show them marketing copy and see if it speaks to them and ask their help in referring other people like them. It's just amazing. My very first client I had when I was helping people start their business was this woman, Sharon, and she would she did everything I told her to do, and she was wonderful. And we'd have coffee all the time, and I would ask her all the time to just so I could learn more about her, so I could find more people like her. Second, this was a huge one for me when I started as a tutoring business, and then I had to start an after-school program because of demand. Okay, all the parents who were driving back and forth to LA all the time, it was like a 2 hour, 3 hours in traffic. They needed an after-school program. They wanted to stay with me. So I didn't know anything about starting an after-school program. So what did I do? I spied on all the other after-school programs. I went and visited after-school programs. I looked at their websites. I looked at their marketing materials. I did everything to spy on them to see what they were doing. The successful ones, by the way, don't spy on the ones that aren't successful, but pick those successful competitors. You don't have to recreate the wheel every time. You don't have to come up with the first ideas. Go and find the successful people that are doing what you're doing. That's the best research ever. And then copy them and make yours better. And then third, there's a lot of online research. There's Google, there's paid tools, and I'm going to show you a tool that I use that's amazing with ChatGPT. But ChatGPT, you can get all kinds of stuff. Any of those AI tools are awesome. In the years past, gosh, it was torture to do that. Okay, now why is this so important for your business? Number one, it's going to make marketing really, really simple. Simple. Everybody hates marketing. I get people, I'm not a marketer. I hear that all the time when I talk to people. But guess what? When you know who you're talking to, and you create marketing copy marketing messages that speak directly to them, like that realtor that spoke just directly to me and my sister when we had to sell our dad's house, that's when the magic happens. That's going to attract the most profitable customers to you. You can better target your marketing efforts, and you can personalize experiences and build your community of really loyal customers. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, here's when I figured this out. This was my $1 million marketing message, $1 million marketing message. So I had this after school program that I had created that because I had talked to so many parents, I had so many parents when I just did tutoring that would have to drive really far to LA to work. Then they drive all the way back to Santa Cruz to come home. And then they'd pick up their kids from daycare, and then they'd have to do their homework because daycare was just playtime, right? So then they had to fight with their kids for homework. And then by the time they did that, they just had to put their kids to bed, and it was awful. So I knew that I had to start an after school program where we're going to pick the kids up from school. We're going to get all their homework done because I was a tutoring expert. We had tutors, and we're going to get everything done. So when they come back from that long, horrible drive in traffic, they're going to pick their kids up from us, go home, and have family time. And when I created this marketing message, I cannot tell you how many people did not care. They didn't care how much it cost. And they called me and told me they had a headache. No more homework headaches. Get your family time back. Okay. That's what they wanted. That got me so many clients. I had to do nothing else but plaster this marketing message everywhere. But I want you to notice something. What were they really wanting to buy? They did not want to buy tutoring. They wanted family time. They were buying family time. So in your marketing messages, make sure you're thinking about what they're really buying, okay? They're not buying that thing, they're buying the benefit of it, okay? Benefits, not features, are really, really important. Okay, here's one of my favorite stories from my friend John. I wish it was my story, but I just love this story. So John was my mentor, was an SEO expert. Okay, he actually pretty much invented SEO. So he had all these clients. It was expensive to be a client of his, but he had all these clients to help them with their SEO, to get them to show up to the top of Google. So he was really, really good at crafting these marketing messages. So we had this client who their business was manufacturing things like and selling things like water sport things like fins, masks, snorkels, inner tubes, anything like that, water toys and water things like that. And his number one most profitable customer were these big resorts, like out here in Arizona. There's a lot of big resorts that have, and I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend. They have like those little things that you can inner tube things, I don't know, lazy river things, and they have stuff for kids. So that was his number one client. They would sell all these water sport toys to these resorts. So John said, he would meet with them every year or so. And he said, okay, he asked this guy, he said, well, what's your most profitable thing you actually sell? And he said, water slides. And John said, really? Water slides? He goes, yeah, I make more profit on my water slides than anything else. So he completely changed the marketing messages to sell water slides. Okay. And guess what happened? Right after he did that, he got a phone call, and he answered the phone one Saturday morning, and the lady on the other line said, hi, this is Celine Dion. You know who Celine Dion is? And he hung up on her because he thought it was a joke. And luckily, she called back and said, oh, I think we got cut off. And he realized, oh my God, this is really Celine Dion. And she said, I want a water slide built in my yard. And he goes, how did you find me? And she goes, you showed up to the talk of Google that you're the expert in doing water slides. And so they talked for a while, and she flew him to Vegas, and he built this water slide this is Celine Dion's backyard, and for $1 million. So he had one thing that he sold, this amazing water slide, and it was $1 million for one client. So then that's not even the end of the story. So then he goes back and says, well, John, I have a better one. I want to build water parks, whole water parks. And John, you can do that? And he goes, yeah, I have all the vendors, I have everything. I want to build water parks. So he changed his marketing message again for water parks. And guess what? A few weeks later, he called and said, you aren't going to believe this. I just got a client in Dubai. We're building a water park and they're paying me $100 million for the water park. $100 million, one customer. That's all he probably needs for the rest of his life. So think about that for your business. It's seriously that easy if you just figure out who that most profitable one is and create your marketing messages. Here's another great example. So how many of you have read The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss? If you haven't, it's a super famous book. It's really good. But when Timothy Ferriss first wrote his book, he wrote something, it wasn't this actual book, but his first book was, it's all about outsourcing. That's what the book is about. It's about outsourcing things, so you're not doing all the work, okay? But his first book, the title of his book was something like Outsourcing for Dummies. It was something about outsourcing. And guess what? It didn't sell anything. It didn't sell any copies at all. And then he realized what people really wanted was a 4-hour work week. They wanted to work less. Okay. It was the same stuff in the inside of the book about outsourcing, but he changed the title to what people actually wanted to buy. And now it's sold billions of copies. Amazing. Just change one little thing. It'll change everything for you. All right. Once you know that, once you know who your perfect, ideal, most profitable customer is, then it's super easy to find out where they hang out. I was just talking to a small group a little bit ago, earlier today, and one lady came on and she said, well, I sell these patches that they can help anybody with all kinds of different things. They can help with headaches and this and that and the other thing. I said, but what did it help you with? I mean, obviously she's passionate about this patch because it helped her with something. It had something to do with her thyroid. I said, well, you're an expert in that. Why don't you go find where those people that have that thyroid issues, where are they? There's groups everywhere. You can go on Facebook and find a group for anything. Trust me, anything. You can go, there are associations for pretty much everything. If chiropractors are your best referral partners, then you can go to the Association of Chiropractors, whatever it is. You can find where they are, okay? So you don't have to join every single social media platform. You got to go where they are, okay? So ideas, Pinterest, if you're doing things that are visual or art things or stuff like that, Pinterest might be where you got to find those. But if you don't have that, don't go on Pinterest, okay? If you want business owners, Alignable is great because you can find different business owners in different niches, right? So figure out where they are. It's easy to find them once you know who they are. And I have to tell you my story with Fran here. Fran is a good friend of mine. She's 81 years old. She is a serial entrepreneur. She's absolutely amazing. She and I are doing publishing now. I'll tell you about that later. But Fran is awesome. So Fran, I've known for many years. I met her when I lived in Santa Clarita, and we used to meet at networking events, and we became friends. And she would always coming up to me saying, oh, look what I designed now. She's a designer. She would make all kinds of products, and she's an Etsy. She knows everything about Etsy. She sells things on there. So she comes to me one day and she has this really cool package, and it says, smoothie spices for health benefits. And she's an expert, by the way, in she knows what every spice, every herb, everything like that, what they can do for your body, for your health. She knows that garlic is a good antibiotic. So like when I had COVID years ago, she's like, take garlic because that's going to help you. So she goes, I figured out that I could blend all these spices together and you can put them in a smoothie and it'll help make you healthy. So that's what the package said. And she gave it to me and I smiled and I went home and put it in the cupboard and never even opened it because I was like, well, I'm already healthy. I don't know why she gave this to me, but I want to make her feel bad. She knows now that I didn't even open it for years, for literally years. Then we were talking one day and I told her about my dad and I was literally in tears on the phone going, my dad has dementia. It is awful. I had spent time with him. I said, I can't get this. I can't. I don't know if I can inherit it or whatever, but what can I do? And she said, Sue, I'm going to create a spice blend for brain health. I know exactly what to do. And so she created a package that said her spice blends for brain health. And I bought a whole bunch of them. They're all in my cupboard. I use them in my tea, whatever. She gave me other ways to do it. And so then we started talking about all kinds of things. And here's what she did. She created different spice blends for different health benefits. So my hair started breaking off. And I'm like, oh no, my hair is breaking off. And she goes, oh, I'll do one for skin and hair. So she has one for that. Then I had found out through my friend John again that one of the biggest search terms on YouTube was how to get rid of belly fat. Everybody wants to get rid of belly fat. That's a big search term on YouTube, right? And so she created belly fat spices to help reduce your belly fat. So to continue the story just a little tiny bit more, she was telling me that well, actually, I was talking to a friend of mine that lives not too far from her, and I was going to introduce, Fran was driving over to meet them. And my friend's 87, her husband was 88 at the time. And I was telling her all about Fran, and I told her about that she had just gotten a testimonial from this guy who used the belly fat spices, and it helped him sleep better. And my friend started crying, and she said, Sue, could she please bring some? I cannot sleep. I have terrible insomnia. I wake up at 2 o'clock every morning. I can't get back to sleep. I really, really, really need something. And I said, of course. And I said, by the way, she has a blend for diabetes, and her husband has diabetes. So she's got 2 new customers for those blends. So the reason I'm telling you the story is I want you to think about all these different kinds of avatars that you have. So each one of those packets that are on there are for a different health benefit. So it has a different marketing message, right? So her belly fat is just marketing for belly fat. The one for digestion, she's only marketing for that. So she got tired of doing all the manufacturing, so she wrote a book. Just sharing that with you. It's a beautiful book. It tells you how to do your own blend of spices for all the different health benefits. So that is what I want you to think about. All this, I want you to think about it for your business. And one last story here before I show you some cool stuff. Sherry Pedrioli, those of you know her, she wrote this book recently called Built on Trust. Well, she came to me, we were talking about, what her book was going to be titled and how it was going to be. And she goes, I want to write a relationship marketing book for business owners. I said, you know what? I said, it just reminds me of, I used to do this event called Relationship Marketing for Business Owners, and I would just market to business owners, and nobody came, like hardly anybody came, until I started doing different ones for different industries. Relationship marketing for residential cleaning companies, relationship marketing for bookkeepers. The whole world came. I got so many more customers from that. It was amazing. So we did some brainstorming, and she wrote this relationship marketing for contractors, trades, and services because she owns a multi-million-dollar plumbing company. And guess what's happened to her? She's not here because she's on a plane right now, but she's getting speaking engagements. She's selling so many books. She's getting people buying books for their employees. It is amazing what the things that are happening with her right now. She got asked to, she's now on the board of her local builders exchanges. It is crazy. So really narrow it down. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen and show you guys a tool that, oh my gosh, I just did this yesterday, and I'm just going to tell you, it's just so freaking amazing. So in the past, like I said, it was a really hard work to let me get this up on the screen here. Whoops, let me stop the share. It used to be really hard work to do this, but I want to show you a tool. Actually, my friend John created this, and it's unbelievable. So all right, this is the back end of there's like, I don't know, 60 or 7, I don't know how many, 60 or 70 AI tools for different things. So I worked with John for his ACT marketing protocol. So this is what this is. It's a whole marketing package. I mean, I worked really closely with him on this, and it has ACT. These are the 3 steps to a successful business that you have to do in the right order. Okay. First is analysis. You got to do that research. So this whole program has all these ways that to help you do the research and learn about how to get your market segmented and all those kind of things. The C is creation. That is helping you create your marketing messages. So it has all these different videos and resources on how to create your best marketing message, your big idea, your hook, your buying triggers, there's so many. This is like, oh my God, I can't even tell you how much I learned in this. And then 3 is traffic. You have to do these in the right order. You have to have the analysis and the creation before you start bringing traffic to your marketing or your website. So it has all these things on how to add traffic. It's got tons and tons of stuff in it. Okay. But what he did is he created these tools, and I just used this yesterday, and I'm just dying to share this with you. So he has this whole marketing tool. This is one of so many things. So I did this for somebody that I'm meeting today. Okay. This is a market segmenter. So what I did is the guy that I'm meeting today has a painting company. Well, he does interior and exterior painting, and he's in like a good area down near Hollywood, in LA. And it put wallpapering and things like that. Okay, I'm just getting to know what he does. So I went to his website, I figured out what he did, I put it in here, I put the market in here, and it gave me the top 10 ideal customers for his business. And it starts with number 1, the most profitable one, which are luxury, like affluent homeowners and interior designers that really want premium finishes and all these things that will pay big bucks. Like they're willing to pay the best of the best of the best. That's his number 1 most profitable customer. The second one is insurance-funded restoration, like claims adjusters. They need to hire people to come in and do the painting and the wall coverings and all that from something that happened with their house. And it goes down the line. There's all these different ones. And the lowest one would be the budget landlord and property manager. They're still a customer, an ideal customer, but they're not the most profitable. They're down on the list. But it just spits out your top 10. Okay. Then that's not even it. So then I took this and I grabbed the insurance one. So because to me, I think that would be really great because that is like the perfect referral partner. So then I went back and I went to the toolbox here and check this out. There's something called build a buyer. And like I told you, you got to really, really, really understand your ideal, most profitable customer, with like everything about them, what they love, what they hate, all those things, like what their challenges are. So I went into this and I put in that insurance adjuster person that was an ideal customer referral partner, I should say. And it gave me, look at all this stuff, the demographic, their problems, what are their biggest problems that their prospects face, their most powerful emotions around that problem, their biggest fears, their ways that they can, just all this stuff, what they've tried in the past. I mean, it gives you every single detail about these things that you could create marketing messages that attract their biggest fear, that talk about their biggest fear. It's just unbelievable. So it gives you all this. I mean, look how much stuff. I didn't even have time to read all this yet. Okay. That helps you understand them so much that you can talk to them. And then the other thing that this has in it, these tools are just, I mean, I'm only scraping the tiniest bit of what's in here, but it has, going back to here, in this toolbox, it has lead magnets. It'll create a lead magnet for you to get people that you could put on your website for people to, like a free download to get their email so you can start building your email list. This one is, remember I told you guys, no more homework headaches, get your family time back. The big idea, grab their attention. It will help you find that big idea. Like my $1 million marketing message, this big idea will really help you with that. It gives you how to eliminate objections from people. It'll give you all the objections someone's going to give you and then how to overcome those. Benefiting or getting all your benefits. Oh my God, there's so much stuff here. On top of that, it gives you video, like it'll create videos for you. You can put your website in there and it will create a video using your everything on your website like in seconds. It's unbelievable. And then just for fun, it just goes on and on. There's just business tools. I mean, there's just so much stuff in here. I can't even tell you. But the most fun, this is totally, we all need to market ourselves, right? We need those pictures that, those headshots and different pictures of you. So they have this cool thing in here. To me, this is worth the whole thing. It's a precision image model. So I uploaded a bunch of pictures of me, and then I wanted it to create some different, like I wanted speaking pictures. These are all AI generated pictures. I wanted pictures of me holding a microphone with an audience in the background. It created those. I wanted me to be pointing to a sign. Some of them look like me, some don't. But I like some of them look a lot like me. I want to be sitting on a computer, then I want to be holding a book. I told it what I wanted, and it creates, oh my God, you guys, this is so fun. I wanted to be holding a thank you sign. It gave me all of these. These are not really me. These are AI generated. I wanted to be sitting on Main Street at a table or in a chair. I just told it what to do. Anyway, I just have to share that with you because it's fun. So I just wanted to share that with you because it is a resources and tools that can really help you handle, to figure out who that ideal customer is. Oh, let me go back to my thing here. Sorry about that. One last thing, and then I'll open it up for some questions. To go back to where is it? So many. I didn't want that. Let me move this. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Go back. Oh, well, let's see. Stop that again. Sorry, I got to get back to my ideal here. Escape. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Okay, now I got it. Share. There we go. Okay, so let me get back where I was. So screenshot this. I'll send all these things to you. I know it's a lot of stuff on the screen, but I just want you to have this. So definitely take a screenshot of it. The ACT Quantum AI, that's what I just showed you. You get the whole ACT program and you get all those tools for $47 a month. It's nuts. I mean, that's just that picture thing alone I just showed you is worth that. I get special deals because I worked with them on there. So he makes special codes for me. So yeah, so that you won't get that cheaper anywhere else. So that it's $47 a month. That's what that is if you want that. This is a QR code here for my marketing tools. I have a whole bunch of, if you go to my website, I have this on there, plus some other things, tools that I have that are pretty awesome. I am offering right now. This just started. I just did this a week or two ago, right before Black Friday, but I'm still offering it. I'm doing one-on-one strategy sessions. I've never done this before. I have not had time working for Alignable, but if you want to set up a strategy session with me, you can do that, and we'll spend an hour and we'll nail it down. We'll nail down your ideal customer and referral partner. And here's how you can get involved with Business with Purpose. Just go to businesswithpurpose.org/join or use that QR code and join us for free. We have a separate community, and you need to make sure that you're in our group, Business with Purpose group. We have a lot of influencers on Alignable that are a part of this, and Alignable is actually we're meeting with the co-founders. Are going to offer a bunch of cool stuff too. So there you go. I'm going to stop the share and raise your hand if you want to go down to that react button and click raise hand. I'm happy to answer any questions. We have like 10 minutes. if anybody has any questions or comments on anything that you learned today. Did I blow anybody's mind at all, or anybody learn anything? Let me help you. Can I help anybody here? Oh, I've got a little issue here. No? There we go. John, go ahead. You'll have to unmute and
Yeah,
answer.
sorry, I couldn't find that. Yeah, I'm good.
That's okay.
How you doing today? That was great. Thank you so much. It was excellent. I love it. You and I share a lot in common. Love to work with you more on this. Just I'm not trying to outsell you because you did a great job presenting it. I think the key thing is really understanding your core customer. You got it right. I've been in this program for years called Dent, and they talk about that. It's like that normal curve. You got to go really, you got to niche down. The more you niche, the better your opportunity is. You can get the ones on either side, left and right, but the tighter your niche, the better you're going to perform. And that's been my experience. So I share that with you.
100%.
I developed something that we'll talk to you about later. I won't do that because it's your webinar. We developed a thing called scorecard
Do you have
that
any questions
with
or
a great
anything?
leader. No, it's more of a comment. The one question I had was I'd like to know more about the AI tool. I'd like to understand more how you found it to be effective. The one you just mentioned at the end.
Oh yeah. Well, I worked directly with John on all of these things. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I helped him put this stuff together. John's one of those people that is kind of like a rocket scientist, and when he talks, sometimes people's eyes go spinning around in their heads. So, I was the I went to college to be an elementary school teacher. I actually owned a school for many years and I taught second grade, so it was easy for me to take his gobbledygook stuff that was hard for a regular person to understand and put it in real people's terms. So I personally used it, and the things that I did that figured out, like the no more homework headaches, get your family time back. I came up with that before I even got started with him. So I realized what I did right. So yeah. All right. Diane, go ahead.
Hi, Sue. Good presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
What's your advice for getting referrals?
I'll
As
tell you,
my current customers suddenly don't know anybody when I ask them for a referral.
because of this. I don't know if you were here at the very beginning of my presentation, but you have to be able to describe in one or two very easy sentences who you want them to refer to you. You can't say refer everybody to me because that's like they might not need or want what you're selling. It's like if you're a realtor and you come to me and say, Sue, I want to sell you this house. I'm like, does it have wheels? I live in a motorhome. I don't want a house. I'm not, unless it has wheels, I am not interested. I am not your avatar. So you have to be able to describe it in like that girl. It's like I'm a health coach. I specialize in helping overweight women with knee problems. If you say that, oh my God, people are going to go, I know 5 people right off the top of my head that has knee problems that are suffering and they need your help. Okay. So you
Right.
have to be so clear. That's how you get your referrals, is by being really clear about who you're actually looking for. In fact, when I used to go networking and you'd get all these people coming up to you and say, here, I do this and this and this and this, and I can help you with all these great, great things. Can you? And they're talking to me. I'm like, okay. And so I just go up to someone and say, do you know anyone? Like if I were that health coach, I would say, do you know anyone with knee problems, an overweight people that have knee problems? Do you know anybody like that? They're going to go, yes, I do. So, but you have to be able to clearly describe that. It's like
Right.
that. Yeah, go ahead. Does
No,
that
no,
help?
I gotcha. I
Awesome.
understand.
Awesome. It's, I'll give you a couple other things. Okay. Any artists in here? I don't know if there's any artists in the room, but I had an artist come to one of mine and she's like, well, how do I find my ideal customer? Well, that's a tough one, right? Because if you either like the art or you don't like the art. But here's what I did. We did a little session and I said, who buys, like, what art do you sell the most of and who buys it? And she was creating these wood things. And she said, you know who loves this art that I create? these wood designs are veterans. It was something to do with what veterans really loved. I don't remember if it was American flags. I don't know what it was. But I said, then why aren't you just going to I just spoke at a Veterans Administration in San Diego, California not too long ago. There's veterans groups everywhere. Oh my gosh, you could find. And so I said, why aren't you just marketing to veterans? If that's what you sell the most of and they're willing to pay top dollar for your stuff and they love it, why aren't you just marketing to them? Does that make sense to you guys? I'm going to give you one more. This is another one. I'm telling you these stories because I'm really, really hoping that you're latching on and you're grabbing and kind of putting it with what you do. So when I moved, so a lot of you don't know, I found out I had a sister on Ancestry. That's a whole crazy story. And I ended up moving to Santa Rosa, California, where I didn't know anyone. And I had already sold my school and everything, and I was starting a new business and everything. And I wanted to do I just love doing websites. I loved building websites. And I was one of those, I was like, I'm just going to do websites really cheap for people for like $500. You know, I was like, I could I'll do your website for $500. I worked so hard on it. I mean, it was really silly to be charging only $500 for a website. And one day this girl came up to me. I had met her and she was just left her corporate job. She was single. She was in her 50s. She had a lot of money saved up and she wanted to start a business and she needed a website. And so I was talking about her business. She knew nothing about starting a business. She needed a website. And she's like, Sue, I want you to do my website. She goes, how much do I write this check for? And I said, 2,500. And she went, that's all? She wrote me, I was like, I could have said $10,000 and she would have written the check for that. She didn't care. She needed her website done. She didn't know anybody else. So I realized that my most profitable avatar for websites were these women over in their 50s that were left their corporate job. Most of them were single and they were starting their business. They didn't know anything about business. I started marketing to them. I got 5 more clients paying me $2,500 for websites. I was like, my goodness, what was I doing all this time before that? Sunny, go ahead. You gotta unmute. I can't see you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How do I one-on-one with you?
Okay.
I'm an artist.
If you guys go to businesswithpurpose.org, I'll put it in here. I posted it up on the screen, but I'll just put on here businesswithpurpose.org. That is our.
You got that.
Whoops, that's wrong. Sorry, I spelled delete. Let me put that back up on the screen. Let me put this back up on the screen. Hold on. Come on. Oh my goodness, I'm having some technical issues. If you go to businesswithpurpose.org and just click on store, you can easily
Store.
it's listed on there. It's on the store. But I want you guys to make sure that oh goodness, it's doing it again. Here you go. I'll just go to businesswithpurpose.org and go to the store. And it's in there. I'm doing a special for members, Business with Purpose members, and you can meet with me for an hour and we'll nail it down. It'll be fun. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my superpower.
Okay.
So
Thanks a lot.
oh, good. Someone posted it. Thank you, Kim. Any other last minute questions? All right. Well, let me give you one more time. Well, actually, go to my website, SueBrooke.com. Go to the marketing tools. It's like tools and resources. If you guys need that, did you guys get the let me go back. Here, let me just share this one more time. You guys get a screenshot of this. It has all the stuff on here. I got it up now. Sorry about that. Screens. There it is. Okay. Okay. So just take a screenshot of that. This right here, this QR code right there, is for, whoops, I did it again, is for, that goes right to where you can sign up for the session with me. And then the Act and Quantum AI is right there. There's one there. This top one up here. Just go to my web, and you can go to my website as well. So, and definitely join, get on our list on businesswithpurpose.org/join. Make sure you get on our list because we are doing really big things with our nonprofit. As a member, you get so much. You get weekly events, you get all kinds of crazy stuff. You get the discounts on everything. And we're really excited about all this stuff. So, you guys are like the first ones to hear about all these things. So, thanks for being here. Okay, so hopefully you got all that. I will send an announcement with all the links and the direct links. And thanks for being here, you guys. I hope I offered and gave you some good stuff today. So I hope you're walking away with at least one thing that you didn't know before. All right, you guys, have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.